Well, good to see everybody. Hopefully, everybody's been staying safe and all your families are doing well. Um, this is our first day to trying to get back to normal, which whatever that may be. I think we talk about it. Selection Monday, our last day with our student that we saw our student athletes was that previous Thursday in person. So I think it's more for them. Um, to be able to get back into the movement center and to start working out with our strength and conditioning coach, Bryce Karasak, and then our players will be able to go into our practice facility and use our practice facility for 45 minutes to an hour. So it's good for them to get back, to get to a sense of being back on campus. I know it's different. I mean, you have to come in. You got to come in with a face mask. You got to go through a temperature check and a list of questions. Our student athletes were tested for COVID early last week. So that's our first step to getting back our student athletes on campus, getting them back training, getting them back working with our staffs. As you know, men's or women's basketball, we're still not allowed to do anything with our student athletes. So there's no summer access. Myself or Coach Gregory or their staffs, we can't see them work out on their own individually, and we can't even oversee them lifting strength and conditioning wise. Along with that, the NCAA is still has mandated no on or off campus recruiting. So as far as us, we'll continue to work remotely and come in if need be into our offices for now.
You mentioned using the facility. Are they able to actually do anything with the basketball? What are they able to do in that regard with basketball?
Well,
skills?
right now, as you can see, our movement center is set up where they come into through the entrance, and they would see sports medicine, athletic trainer, and the nutritionist, answer a list of questions, do a temperature check. They go through the men's basketball gym and go straight back towards where our weight room and our training room is, right? And right now, everything's situated where you have, we're doing it in groups of 4. So we're going first, then our women that lifted, then they go into the women's basketball practice gym, and then they come out while someone's in the gym. The next group goes into workout. And then after we do it, then the men are coming in. And so there's a flow chart through the practice facility, so everything's corridor. I mean, our video room, our locker room, and our media room are still off limits. So right now the only areas that are being used are the 2 gyms in strength and conditioning and athletic training. So your question was to the basketballs. Everybody's got their own specific ball that they're using and the baskets that they're at. So.
Did you have a positive test among your staff or team, or everybody come back clear?
Everybody's clear right now, Joey. Yep. Well, as far as our student athletes were tested last week, all our staff has our test tomorrow at 9 a.m. because we shouldn't have any contact with our student athletes. So our strength and conditioning staff and sports medicine staff has been tested. So I have both the men's and women's basketball student athletes. Now we will be tested tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Are all your kids back here now on campus?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, they're not. We have about 6 here, and the rest of them are back home.
Okay.
What's the process as far as some of the ones that are back home? And I assume you mean Europe by that, and you're trying to get them here as quickly.
Well, we have a different situation, of
Yeah.
course, because our teams, 3/4 of our teams is foreign. So right now, as you know, we do have the travel restrictions are still pretty much in place from the president. As we get, of course, school starts late August, and hopefully a lot of that stuff will be cleared up by then. But right now, there's so many countries that you can't come into the United States from. And then when you get here, you have to quarantine for 14 days. So right now, our kids are doing online classes anyway. The bulk of our student athletes usually play with their national teams in the summer. So we're in a waiting game as well. But it's middle of June. We still have the month of July, and then we go into August.
Are you giving those players overseas some workouts to do, or is it kind of on their own accord?
No, I mean, all our communication with all our student athletes have been virtually. So our strength and conditioning coach, Bryce Karazak, of course, has gotten all their strength and conditioning workouts. But a lot of those countries are ahead of us. So they've been able to get into facilities and work out and be involved basketball wise and conditioning and training wise already. So.
Coach, kids want to play, we
Yep.
know that. How much of a problem is it dealing with parents right now? Because that's their most precious commodity.
Well, I think to be, you're more from a youth level and a high school level and a travel basketball level. I think that's what's going on right now. I mean, I believe the last 2 weekends they had 2 big travel tournaments, and I think Florida was one of the first states that opened up to all the youth sports immediately. It's all about communication, and I have a very good staff. We've been in communication with parents to answer any questions that they may have, and so forth.
Coach, the southern schools aren't the problem. If you're dealing with a Temple or you're dealing with a northern school where it's really having a problem, do you expect some changes there maybe in scheduling?
No, I don't know. I think we've gotten 1,400 cases in the last couple of days in Florida. I mean, that seems to be a problem. But as far as scheduling or anything, right now our non-conference schedule is set. We haven't had any games dropped. I know the tournament that we're playing in the Bahamas, the Battle of Atlantis, is the first time that they're doing the Battle of Atlantis for women. We're in it, and the men play the week after. How's that going to be handled as far as traveling outside the United States? And then if that ban is still up, you can't quarantine for 14 days. You can't play for 2 weeks. So I think there's some questions there to be answered as well. But I think we have a very attractive schedule with Texas on the road, Mississippi State and Baylor at home. We go to VCU. So I'm really excited about November and December. The matrix for the league has already come out, but as far as when we play, January, February, that hasn't been determined yet. But we know who we play and who we play twice and who we play once in the league schedule.
The odds of your alma mater being on future schedules might have gone up with some recent events. Could you talk about Coach Brooks Wiley getting?
I'm very happy for her. She did a great job here. I think she's got a really, really good opportunity. As you know, she also hired Tim Silver, our former video coordinator and assistant at Stetson. So I'm very happy for her. We'll see. We'll see. I think she's really busy digging in, trying to get some better players, and making sure she's got the right people in her program academically and athletically. But she's got a great opportunity. She's going to be fine.
Coach, March has been almost like a thing for you guys being here now. How much of a down was that for you and your kids just not being able to play?
It was, I tell you what, I feel for the men because the men didn't even get a chance to play the conference tournament. And just, and they were up there already. It's tough because, you play the whole season and you finish the way that we did. I still think we had a lot of basketball left to play left. But it was definitely not the tournament we're used to playing in. But still, you still have something to play for. There's only 2 teams that finish at the end of the year with a win, and that's the NCAA champion and the NIT champion. So that was tough because, I think our kids were really excited, and we had a really young team and everybody coming back, so you want to give them a taste of postseason. So, okay, this isn't the tournament that we're supposed to be playing in. It's a lot different the way that you travel and media and everything else. So, but I think sports got moved to the side as they should be. With what are we? We've lost just in the United States alone over 115,000 people. That's an unbelievable number. And I think everything that we did as far as from a perspective standpoint around the country was the right thing to do.
When do you normally take your overseas trip, and are you still able to recruit effectively even though you're having to do it virtually overseas?
As far as vacation or work?
Work.
You know what, Joey, usually I go out of the country in June. You usually have one tournament in June, but definitely now, July shut down. The under 17 World Championships have been shut down, and that was supposed to happen in August. So that's huge. But even domestic recruiting. Yeah. I think right now we're in conversations both on the men's and women's side. Are we going to get some other recruiting opportunities in August and September? Are you maybe going to move, at least on our side, home visits for juniors instead of the spring and the fall? Because from an evaluation standpoint, a lot of these kids aren't being evaluated both on either side. Yeah, there is video, but there's a big difference between seeing someone live, seeing them on video, but also seeing their high school coach or AU coach or parents or that recruit themselves that you're at, how many games that they played all year, and the investment that you're making in them. So we're going to wait on that and see what happens.
Coach,
Yep.
with one of the political things going to happen in Jacksonville this year, and they're releasing all these people to get together. Have you heard if that's going to help you with getting your fans into the stands at all? Have you heard anything?
I have not. You're talking about the political stuff with the convention?
Yes, sir, they released
Yeah,
it so
yeah.
everybody can get up beside each other and be crowded. Did you know if that's going to have any effect with enabling you to get your fans in the stands?
Right now, the fall sports, volleyball, men's soccer, women's soccer, and of course, football. Football drives the football season doesn't happen. The landscape of college athletics is going to be a lot different. So,
There's no word on that yet.
no word on that yet, but everybody anticipates that there is going to be fall sports and there is going to be football. If there's no fans in the stands, there's a lot of lost revenue as far as ticket sales, concessions, parking, marketing, sponsorships, and then now you gotta find other ways to make money, right? Are you as far as private streaming? I mean, there's so many things to get to that, but if we do get to that point, there's going to be a huge domino and trickle effect financially for every program in the country to sustain college athletics. We've seen, of course, such a great increase in cases because here in the state of Florida, we've totally reopened up, right? Restaurants, bars. So, I mean, we got to see where we're at and see what the data tells us, but the data's not going to lie,
Right.
you know, so.
Coach, I'll ask you the same
Yeah.
question I asked Coach Arians. You are probably the most susceptible person to catching this. What are you doing to stay safe?
Me, susceptible to catching it? I thought, you know.
I know you're not 67, but
No, I know, but yeah, God, do I look older than 48? No, we haven't, you know, my wife and I and family, we haven't gone out much. I tell you one thing, Home Depot and Lowe's are not hurting, that's for sure. So, you know, that we've gone out to Costco, of course you gotta wear masks. Her daughter lives with us, works at Publix. And we've probably, since it opened back up, been to 3 or 4 restaurants. So it's been a change. It's been a huge change in the way that everybody has lived their life, as far as how we've tried to stay busy at home, how we've communicated, how we've shopped, how we've changed as consumers, and how we've eaten at home. I have plenty of masks. I have masks in my car. We got hand sanitizers in our car. My wife's taking very good care of me. So
you gained weight or lost weight?
I've lost weight. I've lost 20 pounds.
Look at you.
21. I was at 200. I'm at 178. So yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
All those home improvement projects.
A lot of home improvement projects.
You're
I'm sure you've seen them on my wife's Facebook. So,
Coach,
Yep.
with Connecticut moving on to the Big East, the American Athletic Conference takes a hit in strength of schedule for conference games. Do you see the conference getting the same number of bids?
Russ, that's a great question, and losing Connecticut, at least on our side, is huge because you play them twice during the year, and you play them a third time, right? That's 3 RPI games of a team that's in the top 5 RPI in the country. So, if teams don't schedule the right way, if you don't win your conference and you don't schedule the right way, you're not going to get an at-large bid. So, it doesn't affect us because we've always scheduled the right way and we've always played a very challenging schedule. But losing Connecticut, of course, it hurts our league because you have a team that has such a great following, has such a great media following. Hall of Fame coach, some of the best players in the country. It does hurt us. I think it hurts us from a perception of us being, a football 5 conference, a Power 5 conference. So now, strategically, we gotta continue to recruit the right way, develop the right way, and most importantly, schedule the right way. So if we don't win our league, we're going to be one of those 32 teams to get an at-large bid.